You don't need to spend thousands on branding to look professional. Hello and welcome to the Lady Icon Life podcast. I'm Coco. Today, I'm giving you the 3-part formula to create a high-end brand that attracts clients and builds trust without having to hire a designer. When you're starting up a business, we have so many initial costs. And one of the things that we need to keep in mind as the entrepreneurial women that we are is how to make our dollars work and stretch them as far as possible so that we can ensure we are creating not only a beautiful brand, but a smart brand, one that uses our resources wisely, including our time, but also our money. So today, let's walk through 3 steps on how you can create a beautiful brand without having to hire a professional. Step 1 is your brand message. This is your elevator pitch, your one-liner statement. There's a simple formula that can really help you create that business essence. This is your mantra. This is who you're going to help, what you are going to do, and the result. So let's go through that formula again. I help who to achieve what so they can result. An example of this. I help busy moms start online businesses so they can make money from home without burnout. Or for Lady Icon Life, ours is helping high-achieving women turn their ideas into 7-figure businesses so they can lead their most iconic lives. This needs to be done at the beginning. This is the basis of which you are going to build your brand identity on, who you are speaking to, what you are speaking about, and what result you are going to provide, either with your goods or your services. So this is not only foundational, but it is paramount in ensuring that we create a beautiful, cohesive brand that speaks to our ideal client. Because it doesn't matter how great our business idea is. If we don't speak to those that would think it was a great business idea that they want to invest some of their resources in, then it's all for naught. So really ensuring that we get that formula down. I help who achieve what so they can your result. It is simple, yes, but that doesn't mean it's easy. We can ensure by going through that really simple exercise that we have checked those boxes, and then we can tailor everything else that we create to speak to those 3 points, the who, the what, and the result. Once you have that one-liner statement, your brand message, the essence of who and what you are doing and the result that you are helping provide, we can move on to the creative aspects of this. When we're talking about brand kit creation, we can definitely do this in simplicity, and we can do this in bare bones and still get ourselves up and ready to service our ideal client. One of the first things we want to think about with our brand identity that we've just outlined are what some of the other verticals or similar businesses that have found success with similar clients to our ideal client are doing. There's something that's resonating there. And so we can definitely look at the breadcrumbs of success and ensure that we are not reinventing the wheel where we don't need to. The first thing we'll think about are colors. What your brand represents is so tied to the colors that are representing your brand. I think you can start with 2 or 3 colors for simplicity. Think about your ideal client and what attracts them. My go-to is to start a Pinterest board and to go on, type in some of the keywords or phrases or your one-liner, something like that, into the Pinterest search bar or into Google and see what comes up. Not only that resonates with you, but that you think would resonate with your ideal client. You'll start to see some similarities. You'll start to see some colors that are associated over and over again. This is why most fast food chains use the colors orange and red, and why most luxury goods use black and white. Most natural products use some version of green, because the colors mean so much in determining and communicating to our ideal client what our brand is about. Once we have this idea of the color direction and we've gathered some images, some icons, some pictures, some videos, some collateral around the mood board that is our business creation, then we can go on to looking at our logo. Clean and simple is the best. Most iconic brands have simple logos. Think the double C's for Coco Chanel. It is a process that can seem overwhelming. Simplicity is your friend here. A lot of times we can get way too bogged down in trying to make something clever and nuanced and unique when we can literally just use a few letters and a nice bold color or a beautiful color combination to really get our brand across. Once you have identified your ideal client, the who, finding symmetry to communicate your company's what and the result are much easier to identify. You'll see that there is some cohesiveness across similar verticals to your business, and you can really look to them as examples of what you can use to brand your business. Is there an icon? Is it just letters? Are they creating some symmetry and having some letters backwards? You can really understand and try to create your own brand identity using those very simple principles. This is something that applications like Canva can be so helpful in because you can see 5 or 6 different designs and pick and choose from different ones to create that perfect logo for yourself. When I'm helping my clients create logos, a lot of times I'll send them 7 or 8 different versions with different color combinations. And I will explain to them, this one is more serious. This one is more focused on community. This one is more focused on nature and the natural world and has more whimsy. That really helps them identify what message their logo is going to send to their ideal client. And then you can start combining facets to create that perfect one for yourself. This is where you can have a little bit of fun, but not overwhelm yourself with trying to create something that is so incredibly intricate. We can really lean into simplicity here. Similarly with fonts, it's so nice to be able to have just one nice bold header font and one simple body font. There's a lot of great free fonts with Canva. Google Fonts also have a lot of free options here. Again, use the breadcrumbs of success of others as a roadmap to help identify some great options, but too scripty, too flowery, too unique a lot of times means that the font is going to overwhelm your message. And so we want to ensure that your beautiful message is able to resonate and to communicate to your ideal client what your business can help them achieve, what that result is. Step 3, a cohesive media look. One of the things that I love about applications like Canva is they allow you to create something called a brand kit. Everything that we went over in step 2 is part and parcel to that brand kit creation. You can actually save all of those colors, your logos, the fonts to a digital brand kit with applications like Canva, or you can create your own one-pager with all of your fonts and colors and logos and a few pictures or moods that you want to have filter through your brand's messaging. That really helps you create a cohesive media look so that people can identify those aspects with your business. It helps when they can immediately understand, oh, that's Lady Icon Life, or the black and white lines that make you know immediately that it's Sephora, or the brown bag that makes you immediately know that it's Nordstrom's. Those are great key elements that they have used and refined to ensure that their brand identity is strong. So make this easy on yourself. If you are going to utilize something like Canva, the free or the paid base, use that application to make your digital brand kit. This will make it incredibly easy to customize every single one of your designs effortlessly. So then you can pick out a few simple designs for your social media posts and immediately have them transfer with your colors, your fonts, and your logo. You want to keep those posts visually consistent. You don't want to have random styles because that dilutes your brand identity image. So let's talk about some action steps that you can take. Create your brand's one-liner statement. Go through that formula. I help who achieve what so they can result. Be so confident in that. Repeat it to yourself like a mantra every morning. Become that statement. Then you can pick your colors and your fonts, or just start your Pinterest board. Start collecting. Start doing your research on what other breadcrumbs you can follow of success, what things and elements you think really speak to the type of business that you have created in your one-liner statement. I know some people think that they aren't creative or that these are things that you would want to outsource to professionals, but no one knows the brand like you do. Use your resources, use applications like Canva and Pinterest to give you a springboard, a jumping off point where you can really help find that direction for your brand. And don't be too scared because you can do a rebrand if you need to. But if you do this first part of the research and you have nailed that one-liner statement, everything will fall into place from that. Please tag me on Instagram with your new brand looks. I would love to give you feedback. I would love to see some of the things you create. We all do better when we can inspire each other together. So even going on to Instagram and seeing what different branding some of your favorite influencers have or some of your favorite creators have will help you identify what direction you want to go with your brand. If you found this episode useful, please again, find us on Instagram. We would love to take a look at your brand looks. Thank you so much for joining us for this week's episode of the Lady Icon Life podcast. I'm Coco. I hope to see you here next week. And until then, let's get to work.